Have you ever taken a film photo and wondered, why does this look nothing like the photos I see online? Why is everyone shooting portrait? Is portrait actually worth the money? What are the best stocks for the money? What sets them apart from each other? And where can I get them for a good price so I can get the look I want without breaking the bank? If these thoughts have ever occurred to you, then you are in the right place, because in this video, I'm going to be diving into my favorite film stocks and ranking them in order of how good I think they are for beginners, so you can stop researching and just start shooting. The quick disclaimer before we get into the rankings, the following films are ones I actively shoot. There are many that I don't. I will not be talking about those, so if your favorite stock does not get mentioned, don't get butthurt. 99% of my work is in color. We will not be talking about black and white. Second, the films are going to be ranked specifically on what I think is best for beginners. It is not about which film is best, it's about which one I think is best for beginners. The criteria I'm evaluating them on is if they get generally pleasing results, without too much difficulty, and without costing too much. And lastly, you know these are just like my opinions, man. I invite you to debate these placements and add your thoughts in the comments below. We might as well address the elephant in the room right out of the gate. Portra 400, everyone's favorite film stock. Some people seem to think it's overhyped, but as far as I'm concerned, the praise is 100% justified. It looks incredible no matter what you throw at it. It reliably produces beautiful images. When overexposed a stop or two, the colors turn this beautiful pale pastel. The highlight roll-off is incredibly smooth. Portra 400 is kind of like the GOAT. I've shot more of that stock than anything else. I think many other people would say the same thing. It's on the pricier end of things, sure, but you definitely get what you pay for. So because of that, I'm gonna put it in S tier. Portra 160, like its sibling, is also capable of taking some really excellent images. However, it has a lower ISO, which makes it less flexible for shooting handheld. It's a little bit cheaper, but only by about $1 per roll. And I think for beginners, they're probably better off just spending that extra dollar to get 400 speed because it's gonna be a lot more flexible. So despite it being a Portra that's very capable of taking excellent images, it is still a bit expensive and it's a little bit less flexible than 400. So I'm gonna be putting it in B tier. Charging through the rest of the Portras, Portra 800 is the creme de la creme to me. It's expensive and can be a little bit limiting in bright scenes if your shutter speed doesn't go very high on your camera, but if it does, that 800 speed gives you a whole lot of flexibility, and because of that, it is probably my favorite film to shoot. It is exceptional, it is flexible, and it is expensive, and for those reasons, I will be putting it in A tier. Cinestill 400D. I like 400D, but in going back and compiling my images for this video, I realized that all my scans came back a little bit brown, and I'm not particularly impressed with the highlight roll-off. Now don't get me wrong, it's still a great stock and I like it, but when it's more expensive than Portra 400 and I like the results from that more, it's kind of hard to justify. So because of that, I'm gonna be giving it a C. Cinestill 800T. 800T is expensive, but it's got a lot going for it compared to a lot of other color negative film stocks. The fact that it's tungsten balanced instead of daylight balanced, the 800 speed high ISO, the lack of a remjet layer, which means that it produces these nice halations. It excels at night, it also looks great during the day. It's very easy to get good images off of it. It's super flexible. So I'm gonna be putting it in A tier. Fuji Pro 400H. In terms of look and quality, Pro 400H is right up there with the Portras for me, but it has its own unique magic, particularly where greens are concerned. I think it's an incredible stock. Unfortunately, it was discontinued a few years ago. There are still some rolls in circulation, but there's only so much left, making what remains very expensive. I love Pro 400H and still shoot it from time to time on special occasions. It's one of my favorite films, but because it's discontinued, hard to come by, and expensive, I'm putting it in B tier. Ektar 100. Ektar is great, but it's not for everyone. Where Ektar really shines is shooting landscapes. It excels at capturing dramatic scenery. However, it's not so great with skin tones, so if you're looking to shoot a lot of portraiture, this is probably not the stock for you. It's also 100 speed, making it pretty inflexible. Ektar is an excellent film, but it's pricey and can be a little difficult to work with. I just think that there are better beginner-friendly stocks out there, so I'm putting Ektar in C tier. Kodak Gold 200. Gold is the first of the 3 consumer Kodak stocks that we're going to talk about in this video. Gold has a nice, pleasing, but subtle warmth. It's fairly low ISO at 200, but it's quite forgiving and easy to get great images with. And for the price, it's excellent. So I'm going to put Gold in A tier. Ektachrome 100. This is the only slide film on this list, and I don't shoot a whole lot of slide film because it's kind of expensive and a little inflexible, but when I do, I really like the look of Ektachrome. But slide films have a very different look to color negative film, and they're notorious for being difficult to expose. Slide films, Ektachrome included, are more than capable of capturing stunning images, but they're expensive and they're definitely not beginner friendly, so I'm gonna put Ektachrome in the C tier. Lomography 800. Lomo 800 is great. The colors are clean and clear and it has a nice pop to it. However, it's a little expensive, and for the price, I would rather shoot Portra 800. So I'm gonna put Lomo 800 in B tier. Fuji Superia Extra 400. Superia is another stock that was discontinued by Fuji, but this one you can still find in stores for a reasonable price. Now, it's not Pro 400H, it definitely doesn't perform the same way as it's more of a consumer stock. In my opinion, the images are pretty good, but they're not great. However, for the price, I think it's excellent, so I'm gonna put Superia in A tier. Kodak Color Plus 200. Color Plus is my personal favorite of the 3 Kodak consumer stocks. Unlike Gold 200, which has a bit of a warm cast to the whole image, Color Plus feels vibrant by comparison. The colors feel more true, and the photos that come out of it are just naturally beautiful. Despite it having its own uniqueness to it, I often confuse my Color Plus images with Portra, and when you consider that it's almost half the cost, Color Plus just seems like a bargain by comparison. So I'm gonna put it in S tier all the way. Kodak Ultramax 400. Of the 3 consumer Kodak stocks, Gold, Color Plus, and Ultramax, Ultramax is my least favorite, at least on the surface. I think it lacks the same level of character that Color Plus and Gold have. By comparison, some of the images might seem a little bit vanilla. However, I think it still has a place. It's 400 speed, which is a big advantage. It's inexpensive, and it's pretty easy to find. It may not be as cool or unique as some of the other stocks on this list, but it's no slouch. I think Ultramax is largely underappreciated, and for the price is still very much worth it. Sometimes vanilla is exactly what you're looking for, so I'm gonna put Ultramax in A tier. If you're eager to try out any of these films for yourself, I've added links below to each of the stocks listings on B&H where I routinely buy my films. So now that you know which stocks I think are best for beginners, you might be wondering what camera is best for beginners. But what's just as important as the camera is the rest of the kit. You could spend a whole lifetime researching all of the different tools and probably only scratch the surface. So to save you from the overwhelm of the gear rabbit hole, I put together a simple guide to the camera gear beginner photographers actually need. If you want to learn what gear is actually essential to taking great photos, check out this video where I cover all of that and share a few example kits at various price points so you can get everything you need without breaking the bank.